Love them or hate them, this month's fly of the month is the worms. Stay tuned at the end for some commentary on this fly and how I like to fish it. And we're going to start with a bead on our hook. I'm using a partridge scud style hook with a 3.3 millimeter bead. You're going to start the thread right behind the eyes and just make a thin one single layer pass because you don't want any bulk right here because of the way we're going to tie it. Go ahead and take a lighter to the end and cinch it down. Now we're going to make a couple wraps with our thread using a pinch wrap and then wrap back down towards the bend of the hook. This does not have to look pretty. Go ahead and give it a whip finish. You'll notice that my fly's turned a little bit here. It's not a big deal. We're going to cut off our thread and we will fix that. So just go ahead and rotate it back to where you like it and then slide the bead up. And this makes a nice cool little transition. Start the thread behind the bead and you're going to wrap down to just about to where the bend is. You know, you can make this body longer or shorter depending on what style of hook you're using. I like the scud style hook for this because it's got a big gape and has a lot of holding power. Once again, go ahead and burn the end so it doesn't come unraveled. And we're going to go ahead and tie it in a new one about 25 mils to an inch overhang because you're going to have to wrap this up and you want to make sure you have enough to wrap up. Take the thread all the way to the bead and go ahead and grab some hackle pliers. Just makes life easier. Clip them on and go ahead and rotate the Semperfli Worm chenille up to the bead. You're going to make a counter wrap or cross wrap on that so that you secure the materials and do a couple more wraps and then a wrap or two in front. And come in and get your stinger scissors and snip it in nice and tight. These scissors are great for that. Now this fly is essentially done. We're just going to go ahead and give it a couple whip finishes and we're done. But if you're ever like me, you're not perfect. And on here when I'm pulling on, I break the thread. Now I was pulling really hard to make sure it got seated down, but no foul, no harm. Just come in and snip it off and you're done. Stick around for some commentary. Thanks for watching. I know the purists hate this fly, but if you think about it, worms are really a natural source of food for the trout. After big rain, they get washed into the stream and they eat them. So even though it's not a purist fly, it's a very effective fly to have in your box and one to always carry. You know, it's about catching fish. If it's not about catching fish, then you go for a hike, go hunting, do something else. But for us fly anglers, we really want to catch fish. Sure, it's great being out in nature, but having an effective fly like this in your box for those certain times when the fish are feeding on them, they're looking for worms, or they're just being picky and you need to do something to catch them. You always got to have them. It's really something that you can't let the naysayers get in your head about. This is one way to tie the fly. There are other ways. You can tie it with just the tail. This is a highly effective way to tie it. This is actually how I tied squirmy wormies for a long time because it took so long with that finicky rubber material that the squirmies were tied with. It didn't lend itself to having both the front and the back. This fly is so easy to tie. I like to do both. And you don't even need a bead. You can tie these San Juan style and they'll still be super effective if you don't like to fish heavy tungsten beads or you want a very light fly so it floats kind of in the mid column. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping by and listening to me rant about why you should have a worm in your box, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.